Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, what's up? You may hear some crunching in the background, so I apologize for that. But what's up?
Okay, uh, I'm just trying to fix my audio and just because for some reason uh my overlays and everything just straight up disappeared.
Mm.
Yeah, and so like been acting strange, but I just switched over to this, and then I'm gonna send out a few more links to people.
Cool.
But in the meantime, how you been, dog?
Yeah, been all right. Um, not too much has been going on. Just hanging around.
Yeah.
I
No.
I tried out the demo for Balan Wonderworld.
Oh
Um, not sure if you know what that game is.
no.
It's it's a 3D platformer.
Mhm.
Um, developed by um two of the original creators of Sonic the Hedgehog, um, and obviously a team of people who were working with them, and it was funded, or I'm guessing you might say published by Square Enix. Um,
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, well, I don't know how much I should
Oh, no,
say
yeah.
about it, but but
Yeah.
that's the
I'll be back, dog.
what's up.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Teddy, was in here, but he just dropped back out. But he'll probably be back. Yeah, so I'm just trying to get a, hold of a couple more people, and then well, we can go ahead and start. Yeah, but continue on what you was saying though. Yo, Teddy, what's up? Yo,
Yo, what's good? Can you hear me?
what's up, man? Like, how you been doing, man?
I've been doing good. I've been doing good. My fault. I was having some technical difficulties, but I'm
Oh,
hoping it's better now.
Can you hear me?
yep.
Yeah, 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 can hear you.
All right. I don't know why I was talking for a few seconds there and noticed you couldn't hear me, so left
Yeah.
and came back.
Well, you good, man?
All right.
Been
Quick question, Loner.
technical or difficulties as well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, weren't there any other potentially better options for this? The only reason I ask is because I've been part of some StreamYard streams in the past,
Yeah,
and I don't know about everybody, but for me personally,
yeah,
it's been kind of unstable, sometimes wonky, and I can never really stay that long before my phone starts overheating because I'm using my phone right now. I have a
yeah,
laptop.
I am too, by the way.
Yeah, and I know StreamYard for a fact. Like it gets so temperamental about this, and also you can only use it on Safari. Like I tried opening on Chrome. They're like, nah, fam, you don't want to do this. You on
yeah,
Safari. I
Oh,
don't.
you using an iPhone?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that too. I don't have that problem myself because I'm using an Android, but
Oh, nice.
I have heard that. Um, but and that's not me trying to criticize you or anything. Just so we're clear. I'm just mentioning that I've heard that, but never had the problem myself.
oh
Oh
no,
yeah.
you good, man? Well, just my OBS was acting strange, and then cause like all my overlays just straight up disappeared.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. As long as it doesn't turn into a Virgo situation, I think you should be good.
Oh no, oh, no. Yeah, but that's but let's just jump right in this.
Cool.
So um certain people was kind of confused about what I was talking about. So I was specifically talking about the movies and TV um series. Well, not just just comic books in general, or like the Marvel DC movie per se.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, it's because like certain people's like, hey man, I don't even read comic books, like that, and, and
Yeah.
then I'm
I was people. I was one of those people. That's just like
no,
I
like
don't.
see see what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I
For
see what you're
people
saying.
who say they don't read like comic books,
It's like you
but
don't
you
need to
read
read comic books to
Well,
know about
See,
them because the movies and stuff are fairly popular.
Well,
but the point I'm trying to make is you read manga, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a comic.
Okay, so it's comic books. Well, so I
It,
thought,
yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
So it's like
but
kind
it's
of
a little bit different because people like to refer to like DC and Marvel comics as true comics. Like you like
yeah,
nobody look at manga and thinks of it as comics, even though technically they do qualify
Well, they
as
are
such.
comic. They're just
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
Um,
that's the thing, right? It's like they're very specific. There's a term for them. That's why like people
right.
don't generally lump them together with just all comics. But yeah, um, no, I agree. The thing is, I don't know about you guys. I haven't heard of any either DC or Marvel movies coming out recently that I'd be looking forward to. I don't know if this is the
Uh,
case.
okay. So one of the topics was kind of basically the title. Are um are we having too much comic book movie fatigue?
I did no. Well, okay. Um, personally, I wasn't until I saw Captain Marvel and then Endgame. After viewing both of those movies, I felt a lot of my interest kind of plummet. Um, and it'd be really hard to explain without going to spoilers, which is why I'm not going to go any further, just to be safe. But
I think you're fine at this point. If you haven't watched that movie, that's on you. You should be fine.
um,
It's been out for a while.
it's also because I don't want to be too long-winded until we maybe get into a conversation that's more centered around the movies themselves. But for me, just to answer your question, before I saw Endgame, and may he rest in peace, the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman. Um,
Yeah,
for
Yeah,
that,
that's
those
a big
that
one.
of course it couldn't have been avoided. The man was unfortunately, suffering from cancer and going through a heck of a lot with that. But before the world knew what he was dealing with, and before he had passed away, I was very excited for Black Panther 2. Now, I don't want that to come across as me saying, you know, that I'm trying to sound angry towards his passing, because I mean, who would? But T'Challa was the reason why I loved that movie. I know I'm probably in the minority because most people just praised Killmonger and other aspects of that movie. For me, he was what made it for me. And I understand why they wouldn't want to recast and all of that, but I like that character so much to the point where, when all of that happened, my interest in Black Panther 2 literally plummeted down to zero. And I'm at this point not going to be watching Black Panther 2. Um, Now, the other movies that I was interested in, well, I was initially interested in Doctor Strange 2 until I found out that they're apparently making it into somewhat of a team up. And I speak only for myself when I say this, of course, but I prefer solo films to be solo films. That's not me trying to say that, I have a problem with, for example, Thor Ragnarok or Captain America Civil War, because those were the third films in their trilogies. But Doctor Strange has only had one film so far. So to me, even putting one other hero as a major focus in that film, to me personally,
Hmm.
it just makes me feel like, you know, the other heroes are just going to take away from what could have been a personal story for him. And I don't know. Maybe I'll wait to hear what the both of your thoughts are. But for me, and it's not even anything against Scarlet Witch. I like Scarlet Witch, but honestly, I mean, you know, if you really wanted her to be a part of this, couldn't you have just waited for a Doctor Strange 3 and then make it a pseudo, miniature event with more heroes being added to it? But that's just my thought.
Oh well, I got a rebuttal for that. Well, but I have Teddy to answer that. Or like if you want,
Wait, rebuttal for what exactly? 'Cause that was-
he doesn't. He doesn't want to team up for Strange too.
See, I'm of a different opinion just because I feel like it all comes down to, and that goes for so many aspects of storytelling to me. It comes down to execution. So if if there is a chemistry between the heroes and they really play off of each other really well, and we get some amazing combo attacks and tactics and all that stuff, I'm here for it. I agree to an extent that when you're having a movie about a specific superhero, you want them to be the focal point of the story. You want the focus to be on them to see what they can do, see how they shine, and this and that. I understand that. But at the same time, when you introduce another superhero, there is an opportunity for some really amazing dynamics to come of it. One of the reasons why the Avengers franchise was so huge is precisely because of that. Because you see, everybody has their favorite superhero in Marvel, whether it be Captain America, Iron Man, all that stuff. But it's when you see them interact with each other, whether in a casual setting or on the battlefield, and you see how they play off of each other, that it's like, oh wow, I did not know I could actually enjoy this, but this was a nice surprise. You feel me? So I feel like for something like that, we're gonna have to wait and see how it goes. Although I will have to say it's a little bit different in this case because we're about to see a superhero that I don't think we ever had a movie for, and have them already introduced like that. Where the example I gave, like with the Avengers, at least we got to see them individually first before they got brought together. So there's something to be said for that.
That's true.
See,
And
but
yeah,
see,
go ahead.
but
Sorry.
it's like, oh well, I was just gonna say like to reply to Teddy. We have a growing um universe, and so like it's kind of like gonna be hard to do um certain people one at a time, because because at one point we're gonna have a lot of characters, even bigger than in Endgame. So like team ups is kind of going to be per se needed, but it's like gonna be, say for instance, Man is coming, and then Fantastic Four is also coming, and then they're trying to do the Young Avengers and the New Avengers. That is a lot of people.
True.
Yeah, I see. So at
I
that point, then you're introducing them as a unit, right? Like you're not focusing on individuality, but you're focusing more on the teamwork aspect of things. Because I feel
mhm.
like that would be then a very different approach. 'Cause you see, the thing is, one of the reasons I argue. the Avengers were so good was because we had each hero individually fleshed out before everything went down, right?
For
So
the most part.
for the most part, exactly. So I feel like for this time around, they're really gonna have to execute that teamwork dynamic really well for it to jive because otherwise people are just not gonna be able to connect with them like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of also looking at it from the perspective of that means that every film going forward will essentially be either a big team up or a mini team up. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna get sick of that because to me, a team up should be like the dessert at the end of a feast. You know, kind of like how in the comics, which I don't read a lot of, but I am aware of the fact that in Marvel Comics, whenever they're going to do an event, they will do setup. They will do setups to that event in the individual comics, but they'll still be solo comic books. So I guess for me, if every solo film is going to have one or two extra heroes, for me, it's just going to be like, well, then why even bother doing an Avengers movie anymore when everything is now a team up film, essentially? Like, I'm going to start to miss that, that solo outing, if you will. And that's, I mean, look, you could put my favorite Marvel characters
Yeah.
into what would originally be a solo film, and I would still feel the same way. It's just it would get stale for me after a while. Like I think for
Okay, so
me,
question. Okay,
you
so
know,
question. Could uh do you think that Ant-Man could have carried Ant-Man 2 without
well,
Wasp?
no, and see that to me is different because she was already a character in the previous Ant-Man movie. She just became a hero in the second. For me, I think what it boils down to is it it Wanda, first of all, barely even knows the man. She wasn't in the original film. She's only ever been in Avengers films and Civil War, and now in her own series. So to me, it's really twofold. It's one, I guess what I would say is if you were going to do a team up, why not just give powers to Doctor Strange's love interest in the first movie? Give her powers, maybe give her a moniker. Because, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. The movies have changed significantly things that have happened in the comics. For example, I think we all know that in the comics, Tony Stark did not create Ultron, but they changed that for
Yeah.
the movies. So why couldn't you conceivably have chosen the abilities of an existing hero that maybe you could in some way give those powers to Doctor Strange's, I don't even remember her name. I think it was Rachel. Maybe it wasn't the female doctor that he was
Oh yeah.
um
His love interest.
right.
Rachel. Yeah, Rachel.
Why couldn't you just do it that way instead? I'm not, it probably sounds like I'm saying I don't want Wanda in someone else's movie. No, not at all. It's just to me she's not really part of his world because he doesn't really know her, and so it's not, to me it's not going to be as effective as when Wasp became Wasp, because she was already an integral part of his own universe. If well, not universe, but his own story. So it works and it
Okay,
flows
well,
naturally. Um, I
okay,
mean,
well, I can answer that, but I'm gonna get to Z Boy and see what well he has to say.
Might have to call him K-Boy because of calling himself Koi.
Oh yeah, Koido.
Koi Boy.
Yeah, Koi boy. Hey, Z, can you hear me?
I think he's plotting. He's trying to plan out ways to kill me when I'm sleeping for that comment just now.
Okay, so Teddy, do you have a point before I go?
No, go for it, man. I was
Okay,
mostly listening. Yeah, go ahead.
okay. So apparently the plan, since Wanda is in for Doctor Strange too. Um, have you been up with the news or no? With
Uh,
the Marvel news?
who me?
Yeah.
Um, not as much as I used to be because, like I said, a lot of my interest in the MCU going forward has pretty much been destroyed. So
Oh, okay, okay.
not really, but I have heard murmurings and rumors that um, this movie, which is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness,
Yeah,
I have heard murmurings that a character known as Shuma Gorath may end up being the main threat in that. And so, and I'm not sure if this is what you were referring to, but Spider Man 3 is very
yeah,
obviously going to be um, something revolving around a multiverse
yeah.
story of sorts.
Okay,
So,
so my thing was
mhm,
Wanda's part is, well, they're just setting it up like in her uh, in the TV show, and
right,
so I'm gonna ask you, well, guys, about the TV show in a few. But the plan was the well, they're gonna try to use Wanda's House of M storyline
right,
to where she gets like so distraught and stressed out and stuff to where she will break reality.
okay,
And
Oh,
yeah,
so
that's pretty broken.
uh-huh.
that,
And so
yeah,
that ties into Doctor Strange 2, which Mephisto and then her twins and all that. And so that ties into Doctor Strange 2 and Spider-Man 3
right,
because she's gonna break reality like somehow, or break the multiverse, cut a hole in it, or
right,
whatever. And so that's the
right.
whole plan, setting up so that he can probably pop up in her show. And so
Right.
that's how we have three Spider-Mans, and I'm gonna get that later on too. And so
Okay.
that's how she plays into that part. Like so, it kind of comes together, like in a way.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Um, so I guess in a way, Doctor Strange 2 will kind of feel like a Thor Ragnarok for Doctor Strange in a way. Just well, okay, maybe that was a bad example because the movie Thor Ragnarok obviously doesn't end up going the same route as the event in the comics. So maybe that was a bad example, but I am very familiar with House of M. If I'm not
Okay.
mistaken, House of M, which I'm, again, sake of spoilers.
Oh, well, House of M is the one where apparently she has kids by Vision, but
Right.
like it turned out to be the shards of Mephisto.
Okay.
and
No.
so Mephisto took her twins, and then like she just lost her mind, and then she broke reality.
Right. And then of course there's a follow-up comic to that. Wait, maybe it's not the same event because I know in the comics at one point she got so upset about things that she said no more mutants or something, and or maybe it was no more people with powers, and she ended up basically giving all the heroes normal lives or something. I saw images from that comic, but I've never actually read it. Is that the same book as House
Um,
of M, or is that something different?
I'm well, like, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I think House of M, and then I think it's like Savage Land or something.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I have read a few comics, but it's pretty much only been Iron Man titles, and then I read that one solo outing of Magneto's, but that's pretty much the extent of my Marvel Comics reading. um,
Yeah, so I was just like just saying that she does have a important like role to play. So like I can understand that team up.
right.
Um, but for like team ups in general, I can yeah I can understand how yeah it can be bad and it could be also good. But at the same time, and he just went out.
Oh, we lost him.
Okay. Yeah, like
Really sorry about that.
I, I know you're good, man. But yeah, team ups can be good and bad just as long as like you have a purpose and you utilize them.
Right.
Now I feel like um Spider
Hello,
Man
man.
didn't.
How you doing, y'all?
Oh,
See,
T-Bone. What's good,
what's up,
man?
Steve?
Yo, what's up? What's up, yo?
Okay, so questions session. Since you here, um, do you feel um comic book fatigue? Like do you feel like Marvel and well, oh well, specifically Marvel is putting out too much content?
Talking about comic book wise?
No, like movie and TV wise.
Um, with DC, like I had said this to Kat, I was like, imagine being excited by a DC movie anymore. Um, like they have some cool characters, some cool concepts, but their movies are just so bad most of the time that it's not even fatigue because I haven't even started really. So
Mhm.
with Marvel, for me, Marvel, the whole Marvel movie series was pretty much over with Endgame. You know what I'm saying? Like I might look at the stuff after that, but I'm not really in a rush to it or like super duper excited to like see the future stuff. Because for me, it was like, well, Endgame was kind of his ending. Like it's kind of like spoiler alert for Hunter x Hunter. I know that has nothing to do with it, but like gone. He finds his dad, and the series is still supposed to be going, but Tagashi, he doesn't pick it up anymore. So for me, going finding his dad is the ending, even though it's some stuff after that.
Mhm.
That's kind of how I feel like what's going on with Marvel. Like Endgame was the ending for me, but there's still more stuff after that. But I'm probably not really gonna really care or pay attention to it like that.
Yeah, you know what? That you described that very well because that's kind of where I'm at too. Where I felt like Endgame really was like the conclusion to a very long journey, and I feel like everything they do after that is mostly going to be for the future generation who hasn't been exposed to as many superhero movies and stories as we have. Why do
Right.
I say we? I'm 30, bro. Like I'm old, yeah. Y'all see youngins. I'm talking for me specifically. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing as with Naruto and Boruto. Like I feel like after having gone through all of Naruto and then knowing that Boruto is happening, I can't be bothered to check out Boruto even though people are telling me it's gas because I feel like that's
Yeah.
a different generation. You know, I've already invested so much with Naruto. That's kind of where the journey ends for me. You know,
Yeah, that's facts. I
so
mean, at a certain point, I feel like stories should just kind of end, and if they keep going, it feels like a cash grab.
it feels like they're milking a dry cow. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
And
So
and
like you're not hyped about House of M?
I don't even know what it's about. Like, that's the thing. That's how out of the loop I am. Like I don't even know what it entails. So yeah, just
He's
to
like, I
give
don't
you
know
an idea.
what that is.
I'll, if I may say one thing, because I kind of want to add something to what Z just said, which for the most part I'm pretty much in complete agreement with you. Endgame really was the end for me, but it wasn't so much because it was the ending of a story arc, if you will. It was because three of the characters who were significant.
The Kirklux or whatever of it.
Yeah, the fact that they got rid of two of my boys in that freaking film, one of whom I'm still incredibly salty about.
Wait, salty? You as in like you think it was bad writing?
No, I'm not saying it was bad writing. I just didn't like it. I you
I feel
know,
like that's kind of the point. Like you're supposed to feel like
right,
emotional about it.
but you basically killed the honestly the main reason why I was continuing to watch those movies. I mean, like other people have said, everybody has their favorites,
Yeah.
and to be completely honest with you, most of the new heroes I could care less about, with the exception of maybe Wanda. And I like Doctor Strange, but I mean, then he never really. I never really felt love for the character like I did with Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, and T'Challa. I actually, loved those characters in the movie, and I like the other ones, but they just never got to that level for me. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, and it's funny I say that because I consider myself to be a pretty big Spider-Man fan, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Tom Holland's portrayal, and
Let's
that's not
go.
me trying. That's
Let's
not
go.
me trying to.
Oh,
That,
brother.
that's not me. Hold on. I want to defend myself here. I'm not saying that he's bad. I don't want anybody watching this stream or anybody who's a part of the stream to think that I think he's bad. Absolutely not. I think he's very talented. I think he does a great job with what he's been given. I just, to be honest with you, don't really care for the way he's been written. Now I'm aware of the fact that I am a 32-year-old man who grew up with the 90s series. So there's going to be a lot of nostalgia and bias.
That's classic, though.
There's going to be a lot of nostalgia and bias influencing my viewpoints. So, you can feel free to tell me you're just a bitter old man. But honestly, the Spider-Man that I grew up with was the one I kind of wanted to see in the Tom Holland movies. The overly curious about science Spider-Man, the,
Yeah.
super excited, oh, look at this, and telling all of his friends about scientific terminology and just being a straight up nerd. And I'm sorry, but Tom Holland for me, outside of the scenes where he's talking about movie fandom, that's just not the Spider-Man that, my apologies for sounding arrogant when I say this or selfish, that wasn't the Spider-Man I wanted. Um, you know, I,
I mean, that's how
I
Spider-Man
mean,
is.
I agree to a point, though.
and I think Tom Holland definitely looks the part of Peter Parker. He definitely sounds the part. I just wish that the script writers would have really said, you know what? This is a guy who should just be, pardon the term, fangasming whenever he sees Tony Stark in his armor and just freaking out about the fact, maybe not shouting out loud.
It is, though. That's what he does.
Yeah. Getting
He's a
excited
fanboy
whenever
of
he
all the heroes.
sees.
Like when he's there at Civil War, he's a fanboy of all the heroes.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I feel like he was written better in Civil War than in his own movies.
I can see that. He definitely was like. See, I'm gonna go off of that too because I was like, why did he become so weak? Because like in Civil War, he was so beastly. Like he was just running around the battlefield, having no really experience, and he was just like tripping people up with his new abilities. And then his own movie, it was like it turns out it was holding back again. All this, I'm like, dang.
And
Well, he did pick up a big like boulder, so like his strength is still there. I agree that the writing could have been better, and I'm also not a fan of the whole Iron Man Junior thing.
Yeah, that's trash. That's trash. I'm sorry. That's trash.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
because I mean, like, I would prefer to him to be his
be
own
himself.
person,
exactly.
for him to like create his own suit. So like, yes, I have like problems with him, but compared to the other ones, I would say like Toby, he was a great Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield, he was a great Spider-Man.
Yes.
And like Tom Holland, and so
No,
Tom
he was
Holland.
though. No, okay, so that because that's funny because Lauren's saying exactly what I was gonna say, anyways. Because I've said that so long. I feel like Toby really captured like the kind of boy next door kind of attitude of like Peter, while Andrew captured more of like the kind of coolness, kind of like jokey kind of guy of Spider-Man. And I feel like Tom Holland, in my personal opinion, captures both. And he also doesn't look like a grown man. So for me, I have nostalgia for Toby. I have nostalgia for Toby, but for me, I feel like Tom is the best one out of the three because of the fact he captures both. And
he just has to be written better.
And for me, Tobey Maguire is the best. But again, that's just opinions.
And like I said, that's coming from nostalgia. I actually have nostalgia from Toby, but I still don't think he's the best because I feel like, like Lauren was saying, he captures, Peter the best, but probably not Spider-Man because he's like really, really serious as Spider-Man most of the time, to be honest.
I guess I just found Garfield to be too much of an asshole as Spider-Man. And, to me, Spider-Man's a lot of things, but an asshole he is not.
I mean, it depends on what you mean by that, because, I mean, making jokes isn't being a joke.
Well, smacking a guy's face into a car door is not being funny. That's being a prick. And
I mean, what was the guy like?
yeah, but here's the thing, and I'm probably showing my age here. Not that I'm suggesting that I'm older than anybody here, but Spider-Man's a goody goody, and
I mean,
he's always
See,
the one I
but
grew up with, the
he's
one I
not.
grew
see,
up.
but
He is, but
see,
he
but
also
he's
isn't.
also see, but Spider-Man is also kind of an asshole at the same time. So it's like,
That's more so Tony Stark.
well, like, see, I'm talking about, like, if like
He
he
plays
comes,
around with his enemies, like he kind of
uh,
trolls
Right.
yeah, like he comes across, a criminal, a- a- and how the scene, where like he just goes, "I chew," and then like he just sneezes, and then a big giant like web just like sticks to to a car,
Right.
and some people may like come off as an asshole, but it's like, well, that's just what he does.
I don't know.
No,
I'm
that's
not
literally what Spider-Man's always done. Like, it's kind of he's like super jokey with like.
I'm not just
I
Yeah.
mean, I forgot what they said it, but they said he does that because he's actually like scared all the time. And he makes jokes to like.
Oh no, I mean Static Shock does the same thing, or Static does. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but it honestly, again for me, it was just the way it was delivered. I'm not disagreeing because I mean we're all just stating how we feel, of course.
Yeah.
It's just for me, I've yet to see a live action Spider-Man that for me personally surpasses Tobey Maguire for me. But again, that's just me.
Okay. Well, how would
Do
you
you agree with the serious
feel
part?
about?
Not so much because I mean we have scenes like I forget what was happening in the scene, but at one point as Spider-Man, he was in Jameson's office and he shoots a web over his mouth and says something like "Quiet, mommy and daddy are talking here."
I mean, he makes jokes, but it's super duper rare compared to Spider-Man. How
Yeah,
Spider-Man is.
I get the feeling that people want Spider-Man to be Deadpool, where he's nothing but jokes. And
Well,
Oh no.
I
I mean,
know, but at the
honestly,
same time, he still is a lot more. You know,
I guess
the Toby is very serious for Spider-Man. That's why I say he's more kind of. But
yeah,
he's very serious, but at the same time, he doesn't capture Peter, like the boy next door, kind of like a
that's
dork
true.
kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Again, I grew up with the '90s one, so for me, again, I know I'm probably being very biased here and probably not being accepting of the fact that Spider-Man's likely changed over time and in how he's written. But I always use the '90s series as a template for how I want Spider-Man, meaning Peter Parker, to be.
How was the '90s one like?
He does joke a lot, but there's a
Yeah,
good
like
amount of serious moments.
because he's talking about the Joe Perry one.
Yeah, I don't think I know that one.
That had that classic.
Spider-Man. Is that it?
Well, it had it had that like classic guitar theme.
Oh, is it the cartoon, the animated
Yeah.
cartoon?
Yeah.
I think also
That,
he's like an adult in that one, isn't he?
yeah, like he
So that's a little
goes from
different.
like
Well, he's supposed to be a dork.
he goes from
Oh,
like
I didn't say a dork. I said adult. Isn't he an adult in the '90s one?
Oh, well, he's almost done high school, or maybe he's just
yeah,
getting into
like
college.
he goes from like senior year like till like adulthood, I think.
Right. I
Oh,
will.
yeah, that's a little different. That's a little different because the Peter Parker that's supposed to be like in the Peter Parker that's supposed to usually be is only like 15.
Yeah. I mean, not going to get into the fact that he's called Spider-Man, not Spider-Boy, but that's
I mean,
not something.
Supergirl is a grown woman.
Yeah. But
And I did. They also had a joke about that in like one of the series or something. It was like you seem kind of young to be Spider-Man.
I guess I just
So okay, so like, let me ask you this: couldn't you make the same argument for Batman, to where none of them hasn't shown detective skills since
absolutely, yeah.
Michael Keaton.
I absolutely make that argument. I apologize if it sound if I end up. I'm not trying to take the lead of this conversation. By the way, I hope that's not coming across.
Oh no, like,
But
uh,
since you mentioned Batman, I just want to say this, and I'm going to keep it short. I've been waiting years to see the detective, stealth master Batman. That we see a lot. We see a lot in the Arkham games. We see in the various animated series. Of course, he's supposed to be, one of the world's best, if not the world's best,
The world's best
martial artist.
detective.
Martial artist in DC. So of course, I want to see, well choreographed fight scenes to fully encapsulate every aspect of his skill set. But Batman usually does not run out to confront an enemy unless using stealth will have no effect. He usually reserves that for situations where he can't do so stealthily. So like Bane, he's not really going to be able to use stealth against Bane or one of his main enemies, but to thugs, he could pick
That's
them
very
off.
true. That's very true. I get what you mean because like in the Save Martha movie,
Oh my god!
he just ran up in there. He just ran up in the building and he just started fighting like
yeah,
he was
just
John
Yeah.
Wick
took out
character.
everybody. You just
That wasn't stealthy, bro.
you just charged it, just charged in the window. Just
I want to see the Sherlock Holmes Batman because he was actually in some ways inspired by, and I actually read up on this once. The creators wanted to use the whole, basically being what's the term we're searching for? When you pretty much stay in all the time, an introvert. They wanted to take the introverted, genius, intellectual, man who pretty much is always, doing research and whatnot, which we definitely see for Batman in the Batcave and whatnot. And I don't even know what I was saying, but all I'm gonna say is, I've been waiting years to see Batman really feel like Batman and basically be the most intelligent man in the room, which he usually is in the various, animated series. He's pretty much always the smartest person there. And I just think it's time that we had that and not, just have him immediately beating everybody up.
They didn't do bad with Lex Luthor.
They didn't do bad with him?
Lex Luthor.
Oh, God.
okay. Before that, question for y'all: how do y'all feel about the Twilight Batman?
The who?
The Robert
The Twilight
Pattinson
Batman.
Batman.
Well,
What you
I
mean?
mean, I think it's kind of unfair to continue criticizing Patterson. Is it Pattinson or Patterson? It's Pattinson, right?
Paddington, yeah.
Paddington. Thanks.
It's a
Thank you.
Paddington.
No,
Yeah.
Wait a
Pat.
minute. Wait a minute. You telling me the character, the vampire from Twilight, finna be Batman?
Yeah.
Look,
Oh,
all
you
of
That's
didn't know
gonna be
that?
garbage.
look,
Oh, well, you didn't know that?
look. I'm pretty much going to sound like a hypocrite now, but to be honest, I really don't care. People have
imagine
been free.
he's acting.
People, look,
Imagine
people,
if he's acting like
but
that.
I want,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
but I want to paint a picture for you, right?
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if anybody here remembers, but remember how many people hated Chris Evans as Johnny Storms in Fantastic Four? And so many of us were worried that he was going to be an awful Captain America. Now, I'm not saying that's guaranteed to happen.
Oh, he was okay as the Human Torch, though.
But a lot of fans also hated him. I didn't, but a lot of fans did. Now, all I'm going to say is with Twilight, even if you have the best actors, garbage writing is still garbage writing. I do not blame him for Twilight. I definitely blame the writers and creators of it, but I do not blame the actors for the most part. And
So you have Batman act like some fucking pretty boy teen vampire, bro.
And once again, that trailer really sold me on him being Batman.
Okay, well, he doesn't strike me as Batman, but he strike me as like more as the Crow.
I can see that.
I see where you're coming from.
Because I mean the
Scarecrow,
black.
you talking about Scarecrow?
No, the Crow. Like the.
He means the movie that Brandon Lee was in. Bruce Lee's son.
Oh yeah.
Which, if anybody hasn't seen that, definitely recommend that one.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if Batman wants to be some like I mean, Catwoman. Okay, so Catwoman has too much like how I put this. She has too much kind of maturity and stuff to get seduced by like a Twilight vampire.
Oh my god.
Batman should be like a
Well,
very.
and I think
it's gonna be a very manly.
that's what
the
issue
person
is, right?
who's
That's what the
playing-
issue is, where we're not able to separate the actor from his role, and I think that's why like I feel we should try to be as optimistic as possible, just because the fact that we still remember him as a vampire shows you how good of an actor he is. Because that's usually
No, it
a mark
doesn't.
of a great actor.
No.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
because the
listen
thing
to-
is,
Oh, I
look
mean,
at,
he
for
was
example,
good.
right? For example,
I mean, he was good.
um,
He was good in Tenet.
Okay, so
yeah, exactly.
so-
He was
And-
good in
and
it.
apparently The
Let me-
Lighthouse.
Let me ask you this. Have y'all watched Game of Thrones?
yeah, a little
So
bit.
you know Ramsay?
Yep.
People hate his ass when they see him in the street. That's a mark of a good actor when you're so good that you embody your character that people.
Oh,
just
that
don't
was
separate
Joffrey,
you
by the
from-
way.
You
That
see-
was
you
not
see what I'm
Ramsey.
saying? Wait,
I'm
what?
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. That was not Ramsey. That was Joffrey's actor.
Oh, Joffrey. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, they're both very hateful.
Joffrey.
Joffrey is a fucking asshole. But for me, like even when I saw skits of just random skits of Ramsey, like outside of just Game of Thrones, I'm just like, you motherfucker. And to me, that just says how good of an actor they are. So the fact that you can't separate him from that role, I don't think you should hold that against him. More than anything, that's our issue because we can separate the two.
That's a good point. That's a good point because at this point I kind of was just roasting him a little bit because he could be good.
I'm there with you, man.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
at the
it
same time,
turned out.
At the same time, you can remember stuff because, for example, Sasuke remembers what Itachi did to his clan, right?
Mhm.
Oh god.
Come on,
So-
that's different. That's way different. That's the
You're
rest of the
Itachi.
No, it's not.
Come on, man.
So the reason why I remember Twilight so much is because the movie was so bad, not because it was so good.
Oh,
You know, I
that's
never
why-
even saw
okay.
it, so I think that's part of the reason why I've been spared the hate is because I never actually watched it. I've just seen reviews of it.
I've seen snippets
Dude.
here and there, but I was never really involved. As soon
Dude,
as I
I've never
heard
saw
that
I
it.
mean, like,
Team Jacob versus Team Edward, I tuned out. So it
God.
was.
well, I
The
mean,
white-
people,
The Starbucks.
people said that Ben Affleck was gonna be terrible, and he turned out to be.
Well,
It turned out to be okay, even though the movie wasn't so great, but
yeah,
he his portrayal was pretty good.
that wasn't his fault. The fact I don't blame Ben Affleck for his version of Batman being awful. I blame the people who clearly don't know who Batman is for writing him incorrectly.
Didn't Batman kill people Didn't Ben Affleck's Batman just go around just killing people randomly? Like,
He
And shooting them and stuff.
he did,
so
and and it's not that Batman won't kill if he has no other choice, but one of the main aspects of Batman, one of the things that's so, such a big
ingrained into
part of
his
his
character.
character is Batman stands for, what's the word? He's supposed to encapsulate. Somebody explained it to me once that the reason why the writers never wanted Batman to be a killer like that was, probably partially because of what he went through as a kid. But
I've also seen stories where it's like they explain Batman doesn't kill because on some level he's not mentally all the way there, because when you think about a man who would go out in the street and dress up as a bat and beat up people can't be mentally all there. And to keep himself from being as bad as his enemies, he keeps killing because it can,
Joker once said, "You're just one bad day away from being me."
Mhm.
And it's really a psychological thing for Batman. He has in the past killed, but it's never his first, second, third, fourth, or fifth choice. It's always his very last choice. And I mean, I'm not going to make this whole thing about my problems with Batman and Batman v Superman, because obviously we have a lot more to talk about here. So I'll just stop there.
Okay, well, on to bad writing. Have any of y'all seen the new Wonder Woman?
Thank
Nah,
God, no.
it was 2
I've
hours
not
and
had
30
the
minutes. I ain't
privilege
go.
to know.
I know what happens though.
Oh well, all I have to say is it clearly shows that I don't know who producers or whatever clearly don't watch their movies because if because I mean like I won't spoil it if like people who tries to watch it or whatever, but you can't
Now you
have
can spoil it all you want. I really don't care.
well I mean the problem that I had with it for the most part, if it was like set in like modern time, I believe it would have been way better per se. And two, you can't introduce new powers in a prequel and not show them in her future movies.
True.
Because I mean, like, how the
Yeah.
hell you
Yeah,
just gonna pull out invisibility powers and not show them in the fight in Batman v Superman? That could have really been helpful.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes it bad because like you said, she had the visible. I had looked it up. I didn't mean you was talking about that, Lona, because I didn't really know about the movie, but you was telling me about that the visible plane.
Yeah.
How she had a visible plane in the past, but she doesn't use it in the present because Batman vs Superman takes place after or whatever, so it doesn't make any sense why she didn't have that, doing that fight or whatever and things like that.
Yep.
And she could like fly.
Yeah.
Like
couldn't she fly in Batman v Superman?
No. She could like jump high.
Huh.
Yeah.
She was like literally Superman flying.
That's weird because that's always been one of her primary powers is flight. I don't understand why that wouldn't have been there from the jump, but
Yeah,
It's
and like
so
they had like plot
it,
holes and continuity issues, and then the whole like Cheetah. Man, the Cheetah fight was so like just she
bad
just
CGI.
oh well no, my problem was like Cheetah just she just basically jumped on her, and then she was just swinging her around.
well, hasn't Cheetah always been one of Wonder Woman's weakest foes? Like,
Oh no, like she was stronger foe.
really? Freaking Cheetah?
Yeah,
Going
Zoan. She
going
was
off
a
of
whole Zoan.
that just surprises me because we had Ares in the first movie, and I don't know. I just feel like why would you start with a god in the first movie and then just go to Cheetah in the sequel? Unless you were going to
It's
have
not a sequel, it's a prequel.
okay, well that makes even less sense. Why is it?
That's exactly what we're saying. It makes no sense for her to have the powers because the prequel take place before the current movie. I mean, before I'm getting confused, myself confused. But the prequel take place before the current timeline, so it makes no sense for her to have different powers. And okay, so basically like this, make it simpler. Imagine back in East Blue, Luffy had like we saw a flashback of East Blue, Luffy had Gear 4, right?
Oh God!
And then we come to right now, and he doesn't have it.
Could you imagine? Oh my God!
Oh no. Picture
Don't.
Luffy having gear fourth and like East Blue, and then he get to Wano, and then he's like
He doesn't
uh
even have any
uh
hockey. He doesn't have hockey or Gear 4.
he's like Gum Pistol.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I think the reason I think the reason why they wanted it to be
Continue though.
what was it, Wonder Woman 88 or 86? Which one was it? 88 or 86? What was the actual year they went with? 80
Was it 84?
84. Thank you. Honestly, I think the only reason they went with the year 1984 is because they wanted to kind of, in some ways, copy Captain Marvel, which took place in the 90s, but they couldn't go with the 90s. Although, to be completely honest with you, which was a very stupid... I'm not saying that was the case, but it could have been. Yeah, I honestly don't understand why Wonder Woman 2 wasn't set after the events of Batman v Superman and after the events of the Justice League. They should have just done that.
Set after, the powers would be fine.
Yeah, exactly. They should have just done that. I mean, like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
prequel,
the decision making for some of those movies is just not always the greatest.
oh, you're telling me. But I'm probably the only one here that hasn't liked any of the DCEU movies with the exception of one. So.
Oh no, I mean I'm right there with you, especially with the Dark Knight. There's some Dark Knight movies I really like, but then for the most part, everything else is just kind of. And also, I cannot stand Tom Holland. I was just quiet that whole time you're having that conversation because I was just agreeing with you. But then the problem is like people are gonna stand who they want to stand, so I just let it rock. But like for me personally, I hate him because I'm gonna say hate. You
don't hate the actor.
No. Tom Holland as an actor, I love Tom Holland. No, my issue is the fact that he looks like a whiny little child that has so many teenage.
He really does. He really does.
I'm not trying to see that. That's not why I'm watching Spider-Man for. So
he really does.
See that. That's a massive turn off for me. when
He's
I'm, you know,
he's not
Dang.
Spider-Man. He's prepubescent Spider-Man.
exactly,
I mean,
and that's
Spider-Man
something
still
I
gets
just can't
neck,
relate to personally. You know,
Yeah. I have to agree with you on that. Like, and I was trying to back you up when I was saying you don't hate the actor just because you know what happens when you say the word I hate.
oh
Everybody
yeah,
just feels
yeah,
like they have to go raise their pitchforks.
they go ape shit. Yes.
But yeah,
Okay, I'm back. I had a phone call.
Oh, no
it's the
problem.
But
FBI. They're onto
yeah,
us.
yeah, but yeah,
It's the feds. They on your ass, boy.
Yep, I gotta
yeah,
put my hands
yeah,
up.
but yeah,
they Wonder Woman fans. They got insulted.
right,
Oh
right.
yeah, there. I see a sniper rifle pointing basically its crosshairs
Hey,
are right on
no,
my
we
head.
don't want the red sniper coming for your ass now. You know what's
That's
gonna
freaking
happen if that
Punisher.
happens.
Right.
Oh no, oh no, you hate
So,
you doing that.
You
so
know what?
like,
I'll just play Spider-Man. I'm gonna play
so
Spider-Man.
has anybody seen WandaVision yet?
Nope,
Not going to. Probably not.
I'm not gonna pay for Disney Plus
I
just
mean,
for that.
Z.
Plus and bus.
I mean, like Z and Teddy. You should because it ties into Doctor Strange too. So, but
Which I'm kind of tired of. Shows tying into movies.
So
Just
but
give it to us all in the
here's the
films,
thing.
please.
Here's the thing.
but
I would be willing to check it out, but the thing is, why? Is there a compelling story to be told? Or is it just
Exactly.
like a follow-up to the
well,
previous? Because if that's all it is, then I'm just gonna be I know I'm gonna be bored. And I don't want to put you in that situation where you recommend me something and then I come for your ass after because I didn't like what I saw. So, you know,
okay, well, Teddy. Okay, well, Teddy. To that, I can assure you, yes, the first couple episodes might be slow, but it will
uh-oh.
pay off.
All right.
So
Wanda
it's
Okay.
Vision. It sound like a
so
ship.
it's
It sound
kind
like
of
a
like
ship
Oda.
thing.
So it's kind of like how like Oda gives you 100 chapters and then the last like 10 chapters is gonna be heat.
Mm.
I
Oh,
just,
okay. So 90 chapters of setup and then 10 chapters of straight gas.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm with Z on that. I'm probably not gonna check it out, but honestly, it,
I'll see some YouTube clips when they eventually get recommended.
it
Like
just
see the whole premise of it
right.
cause like I was telling Curry, basically the show is like gonna be a small like version of House of M, to where um Wanda is like trapped in some kind of um like I Love Lucy, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched
That's part of why it pisses me
um
off. By the way,
um reality, to where she thinks that Vision is alive, and then they have kids, and then how Mephisto
Oh, okay. I've
is
seen.
probably
Oh,
gonna be
you know what's
pop
funny?
up, and then she has kids, and then the House of M storyline, she's gonna like freak out and then break reality, and then that is where Doctor Strange and then tries to
But bro,
fix the
check this out.
multiverse, and then it carries over to Spider-Man 3, and then in comes the three um Peter Parkers, which is Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and
Wait,
Tobey
you said here
Maguire.
comes the three Peter Parkers. Wait, what?
yep,
Yeah,
three
yep.
Spider-Man, all in one
Cause,
movie.
cause in
Oh, that's dope.
Spider-Man 3, cause in Spider-Man 3 is gonna get carried over into the multiverse is gonna break. So Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is coming back, and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man is coming back.
Oh, that's pretty
Okay,
dope,
see, that
actually.
sounds kind of
Probably gonna
heat. That sounds
stop.
kind of heat. But
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
one
that's
vision shit
actually.
that you were describing, you know what's funny? Because I
You know, it'd be cool. I'm
realized
sorry, Teddy. I'm sorry, Teddy. But I just thought something that'd be kind of cool too. Also, like you
what
know
just
how
happened.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? How they have a cartoon with the live action.
Yeah.
What if they had Miles Morales with them with the Tom Holland and the
Yo, Miles
Toby.
Morales is my favorite Spider-Man, low key. I can't say that
Oh,
too loud because I know people are gonna be upset, but yeah, I rock with him heavy. But no, that
I
one
just wish
Disney
he
stuff
felt more like his
started.
own
I
character.
actually saw trailers of it, and I keep
yeah.
skipping them every time I see them because I'm just bored. Like I see it, I'm like, I don't even want to check this out. So I keep skipping it. As I didn't know that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's going to pay off. Well, but it's obviously gonna have that
Build up.
slow
That's okay.
build up,
If the story is
like
good,
kind of
I'm
how
here for it. But if not,
yeah, kind of how like Daredevil was. It was like slow, and then it continuously like build up.
yeah.
So like it's kind of like similar to that, except except the shows ties into the movies now, and so the whole show like has a purpose. And so on the uh, so on to my next topic. How do you feel about the whole three Spider-Mans versus the old school Sinister Six, in which the old school Doc Ock is coming back, and then the old Sandman, and then
Oh, the
Jamie.
Spider-Man 3 Sandman.
Yep, and Jamie.
Unfortunately, the awful Electro is coming back.
And Jamie Fox is coming back as Electro,
Sadly,
and then the Green Goblin is coming back too.
thank God they got the good one back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
his
sorry.
his smiles are legendary. Like his Peter Parker, legendary.
Yeah.
I just could not stand Jamie Foxx's Electro personally, but that's just me. Not trying to disrespect him as a man, just to make that clear. It's just
I like Jamie Foxx and pretty much literally anything else besides Electro. Really, the Electro looked cool though. It looked cool, but
it looked cool, but they basically. I mean, if you're gonna use Jamie Foxx, use Jamie Foxx.
and the
Don't
problem,
make
yeah,
him
like
into
you
a
said,
joke.
they tried to make him to some like Jamie Foxx would never be some outcast.
Or
Yeah.
a goofball who becomes
He's an
some-
alpha male, not a beta male. Let's put it
yeah.
simply. Yeah.
They made him into one of the blue men from the Pentium 4 processor commercials.
Right.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
it was.
come
It
on,
was.
man.
Yo, it was rough to see this man go out like that, man.
Look,
Honestly,
if you
like,
want him to be
shit.
bold, you just say, all right, James, all right, Mr. Fox, what we're gonna do is we're if you're not comfortable with shaving your head, we'll just use CGI to make you look bald and have electricity sparkle off of your body. They didn't need to do the freaking your skin turns blue nonsense. He could have just radiated electricity off of his body.
Wait, isn't Electro always blue though?
No.
Oh no.
Adaptations, he just
He has a green costume.
Oh, actually, yeah. I'm looking up. Yeah, I mean, it depends though. 'Cause I'm looking at a version of Electro where he does turn blue.
he just looked hideous, and it's like, oh man. Just, you know what they should have done? They should have, in terms of abilities and appearance, they should have just made him, appearance-wise, a villainous version of Static.
He said he looked hideous.
No, not. I don't mean Jamie Foxx himself. I mean the effect they used on Electro made him look hideous to me.
That's hilarious, man.
Because can they are they at least going to have said, we're sorry for that awful performance we made you go through.
No.
We're gonna let you play Electro how you want to play him.
Well, what I heard is the old people who are coming back is gonna be slightly different, and so
Okay, good.
the costume gonna change, and obviously,
Okay, good.
yeah.
All right. I don't want to sound like a Jamie Foxx hater, by the way, if that came across. I mean,
No,
I've
no
only
one's thinking
seen-
that. No one's thinking that.
I've only seen 2 of his movies, neither of which I was particularly impressed with. But again, that's all just personal tastes. But I don't know.
Jamie has too much charisma to be playing that. Yeah, that character he was playing.
Yeah, because the funny thing about Electro is he's really just a thug with electricity powers. You honestly could have just gotten any regular actor to play. You could have gotten just some random guy on the street to play Electro.
They were trying hard to make him into like some sympathetic villain character.
Yeah, and I think they failed on that because too much of Amazing Spider-Man 2 to me is not focused enough on him because they had to throw another villain in there. No, you give Electro his own movie to be the villain in, and not just try to make everything another Spider-Man 3 clone where we've got like 3 villains in it.
Spider-Man 3 is my guilty pleasure, though.
Oh, I still like Spider-Man 3. I know I'm gonna get hate for that, but whatever. But I'm honestly kind of concerned that the new Spider-Man movie is going to be worse than Spider-Man 3 because not only do you have 3 Spider-Men in one movie who I doubt you're going to have enough time to, explain their reason for being there. And
Spider-Verse did the personalities kind of well.
I will admit that. I may not have been a fan of Spider-Verse, but I will admit that it handled it pretty well.
It's gonna probably have like way too many people because you're gonna have Doctor Strange 2 in there.
Wait, Doctor Strange in there? Why?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because he's got to fix all the stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
and so basically, Doctor Strange carries over from WandaVision and then Spider-Man 3 to his movie, and then so you're gonna have basically the Sinister Six.
I feel bad for casual watchers because they're gonna be so extraordinarily confused.
Imagine if you didn't grow up with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. You'd be like, who the hell is this?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most people see the movies by now, but I'm just saying, like, all these different series that you also gotta watch, like, people are not gonna know that they gotta watch all this different stuff to know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's part of my problem with WandaVision being so deeply connected to everything. Because it's like, why can't a show just stand on its own merits and not have to connect to everything?
Like every other Marvel show, like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, they all have their own thing going on, you know?
Yep. And they were only connected to each other because they were all on Netflix. You never had them connect to the movies. I mean, to be honest with you.
You're gonna hate this. Then because the person from Daredevil.
Oh no, I know about it.
He's in it too.
Yeah, I know about that. And
I've seen all Daredevil. Wait, is it Daredevil himself?
Yeah.
I
kind of like that because Daredevil got canceled, so it would be cool to kind of see him again.
Not only that, but in the animated series, the '90s one, he and Spider-Man kind of teamed up for a time. Now,
I mean, that's kind of interesting because Daredevil does have a spire sense in a way.
What I really would have preferred.
The problem is too many people.
Yeah,
get rid of the other 2 Spider-Men. Just have Daredevil. Put Kingpin in there. Please, Kingpin in there. And don't do this live-action Spider-Verse stuff. We already had Spider-Verse.
I mean, I don't really agree with getting rid of the other 2 Spider-Man. I think it's really cool. Like when I first heard it saying all the 3 Spider-Man, that sounded dope to me. But they don't need. No offense, Doctor Strange, I like him, but he has nothing to do with Spider-Man. So
absolutely not.
So you can get him out, and then just keep. I don't know. You know what? Strange could be in there, but he needs to stay a supporting character at best because it's not his movie. Like no offense.
Exactly. Which is, and to be honest with you, it's not even that I wouldn't want to see all those characters in a movie together. I would have preferred it if they were going to do this. that they started this storyline in Spider-Man Far From Home instead of going with the whole Mysterio stuff and all that, and then have the finale to that storyline be Spider-Man 3.
But you know what? It could be good because, but this is the only time I've ever seen it because people still say this today. Don't people say like isn't there like kind of like a kind of meme type thing where people be like the best crossover since Infinity?
Oh yeah,
They do.
yeah.
So and they say that because that literally is the case. Infinity War is the only time I've ever seen so many freaking characters together.
Yep.
Like perfectly. I was worried when I first saw them. I was like, "There's too many characters going on. This is not going to be like enjoyable to watch."
You know what I want to
not going to give enough time to people to have their own screen time, their own stories. But it managed to be so perfect to me with the balancing of characters.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna
That's because it was a good director.
Besides Black Panther, but to be fair, they didn't realize how popular Black Panther was going to be. He's done that. Besides him, everything else to me, all the characters balanced perfectly.
And if I could just say one thing about the whole 3 Spider-Man thing, I know you're not listening, Disney, but if you can use this as an excuse to bring the original X-Men actors back and maybe team them up with new actors, have Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine and be with a younger Wolverine, can we please have the multiverse lead into something like that?
I mean, Hugh Jackman doesn't need to come back for me. Like when he died in Logan, that was extremely sad and well done scene.
Yeah.
So,
oh well, I'm not saying necessarily bring him back, but I mean,
a cameo maybe or something like he showed up a fight scene.
To be completely honest with you, some of the casting choices in those X-Men movies were so perfect for me that I don't want to see them in the MCU because they're not going to be played by any of the same actors.
Perfect? They could do better with Storm.
Magneto was perfect for me.
Magneto was cool.
Yeah. Storm, absolutely. No disrespect to Halle Berry, but she was not a good Storm.
I don't know if she was a bad Storm or this was bad writing.
I think it was bad writing. I really don't want to believe that Halle Berry can't play a serviceable Storm. They just didn't know how to write her.
It will.
Yeah, like she'll either be like strong or extremely weak.
Yeah, and they kind of treated her like she was an idiot, I feel.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask, how do you guys? Well, because I'm gonna name off the upcoming Disney Plus shows, and then I'm gonna see how y'all feel about them. So you're already aware of WandaVision, and so it's gonna be The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Loki, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and then the Marvel What If series.
You said Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Hawkeye,
She-Hulk,
and what else?
And then Loki.
Oh man, they should have just kept Loki dead.
Agreed. Thank you.
And I don't even really hate Loki. I don't feel like I like him as much as other people.
It feels like they wrapped up his character arc satisfyingly.
Yeah, man. Like he got killed by Thanos. I was like, dang, I actually feel bad for him. And then, just bring him back randomly just destroys his entire death.
Yeah, but we're not going to give shows to other characters. Like the thing that frustrates me about the Loki thing, whenever people say, "Oh, well, they have to give this character this because they don't have their own show," or they have to give this character this because they don't have their own movie. So you can give a show to freaking Loki, but you can't give a show to somebody like Black Widow. You can't give a show to I don't know who else. You couldn't give a show to the Hulk. You couldn't give a show to any other character who hasn't had.
Well, She-Hulk has a show.
Yeah, She-Hulk, but not Hulk. And
She-Hulk is pretty cool. She's a pretty cool character.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And maybe Hulk will show up, but it might be. I hope it's kind of like not like a Supergirl situation, where it's like they just make
Oh
Superman so much weaker
God.
just to make her the main character.
Yeah, and for the record, I
Have
never
you
actually
heard
followed.
who's the new Hawkeye?
Oh wait,
It,
new Hawkeye. Oh yeah. Oh
yeah, it's his
God,
daughter.
God, I'm sad now. Like, I forgot they
Oh no, um,
his
it,
daughter or something, ain't it?
oh no,
Yeah.
like it's gonna be his protege, Kate Bishop,
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know.
mm.
and it's Haley Steinfeld. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I honestly not trying to sound overly negative here, but
No, it's
I honestly could care less for any of the Disney Plus Marvel shows that have been announced. I literally have no interest in any of them.
we can still talk about it though.
Oh, absolutely. It's just if Disney really
Well, I can
wanted.
tell you, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier that connects to Black Widow.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Because because Falcon is supposed to be the new Cap, and so it's like because the whole like Easter eggs is the Weapon 10 program.
I still don't know why he's the new Cap, man. Like
It's because it happens in the comics, and I mean I
I
get
get
it.
that, but like
I just found Falcon to be lame in those movies. He just seemed like such a yes man, like always just
yes, man to the white man. Dang.
yeah.
Yeah,
He really felt like that. And if they really want me to accept, which is an insult to Anthony Mackie, by the way. I mean, not just an insult to you know to Falcon because he's a black man and he's basically being ordered around by a white man, which shame on you. But um, I mean, if you really want me to accept the Falcon as taking up the mantle, give him his own freaking movie first, becoming Captain America, and then go into the show.
You know what been interesting? You know what been more interesting? How
Yeah,
Falcon could have. Well, I would have wrote it. I would have wrote it been something where it's like Cap gives the shield to Bucky, and then Falcon feels some type of way about it, and then he kind of it becomes a situation where he kind of tries to prove himself that he can be the new
yeah,
Cap, and things like that. And
yeah,
Bucky's like, "You proven yourself, man. I'm gonna give
yeah,
it to you," or something like that. Like that be fire.
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. See, that was my problem with it. The whole symbolism about the shield is it should be earned. When the heck did Falcon earn that? Why? By tagging along with Captain America
He's
and
not even he's not even strong enough to use the shield to the biggest
And that's
possibility.
another problem I have with it. Like,
cause like
it's
cause like logically, um, it should have been Bucky because he's eh, eh, basically the same as Cap. He was frozen.
yep,
He was given the strength and all of that.
Yeah, and then
yeah,
also Falcon already has giant freaking medical wings. Bucky needs something else. Like imagine
yeah,
this man. Imagine I'm feel so bad for Bucky. This man gonna be fighting on the ground, just running around the ground, and Falcon's up there freaking drawing shields and flying around. It's like it's not fair. It's not
yeah.
equivalent
It's
for
really
me.
not. I mean, what did you give Bucky? You gave him a metal arm. It's not like it's not like it necessarily turns into a freaking gun. It's just a regular metal arm.
Like poor Bucky, bro. Like this man got mind controlled and every day, and then he just
Yeah,
doesn't.
right.
He doesn't get the shield. He was
My,
Cap's
my
first friend. He doesn't get the shield, bro.
yeah, my best friend didn't choose me. He chose a new guy that he barely he's used as his literal wingman.
Right.
Like, hey, brother, you're my best friend. I love you like a sibling, but here's the thing: he gets the shield, not you.
Even though,
I'd be like, what the hell? I thought I was your brother.
Right.
especially since he's not even physically enough to match the same ability,
He's really not. I mean,
and
couldn't
he
they
already
both
has
be?
freaking wings, bro. Like
Couldn't
just
they
imagine.
both be Captain America? Couldn't there be dual Captain Americas? Like, why not? I mean, look, think about this symbolically. You could spin this not as a political message, but you could use this as like a really good message to try to, you know,
I,
what's the word?
I just dodged something too.
What's up?
Like imagine like an Avatar, like there was like one kid who was an earthbender, the other one wasn't, and then the dad left the kid like with a sword or something to the earthbender.
Yeah, why can't they just both be dual Captain Americas? I mean, like
that would be kind of fire. Like
there's no reason why you only. Because think about it. Do you really only need one Captain America? Why does it have to just be one? I mean,
hell no.
They talk about wanting more diversity, which is obviously very important. But
yeah, that's the whole purpose of Kamala Khan, aka Mrs. Marvel.
And nothing against any fans of hers.
No, she sucks too. No, the actor sucks.
I cannot. Yeah, I cannot stand Kamala Khan.
But let's not be nice. The character sucks. The actor sucks.
Oh no. No, not Captain Marvel. I'm talking about Miss Marvel.
I'm sorry, Miss Marvel. I'm sorry.
I don't like her either. I won't say she sucks. I'll just say that I personally have no interest in her.
I don't either.
Now for Captain Bree, oh yeah, she's awful.
Captain Bree.
She's terrible,
bro.
Like honestly,
her butt.
like honestly, oh man, I don't even want to get. You know what? I'm gonna say it since I brought it up. To be completely honest with you, no, it's not. I'm not gonna. I have no problems with female characters. I'm just gonna say it right now. But the real final nail in the coffin for me when it came to getting out of the MCU was how for a while they were talking about having Spider-Man grow into the focal character point in the films, which to me made sense. But no, we're just gonna forget all about that, and we're gonna try to force this new character. It's not because she's a woman, by the way. If this was a new guy character and they just wanted to shove him down our throats and make us accept him as the new
still be
leader of the team, like, come on, you got to set that up. Now, in light of the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman for a long time, I was saying, why the hell don't you make Black Panther the new freaking leader? The man's a king. The man understands leadership. Make him the freaking leader of the Avengers. Also, if I'm not mistaken, not too long ago, he was the leader of the Avengers in the freaking comics.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know what, Disney? If you were listening right now, big shame on you.
I mean, on that note,
Boy, Disney takes down
the DC people was talking about making the focal point, and which is also another terrible idea by DC. They were going to make Harley Quinn the focal point.
They're gonna make a what?
I knew
Wait,
it.
what?
I knew it. When you start talking, I knew it.
Yeah.
Wait, please tell me what you were saying, Loner. They're gonna do what?
They was going to make Harley Quinn the DC focal point.
What the? Look, I know I just talk trash on freaking Captain Marvel, but that is a million times better than Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn is better than Captain Marvel, though.
Now,
Harley Quinn
is a.
You say Harley Quinn was garbage?
Wait a minute. Harley Quinn, yes, the actor plays her is great and is good, but do not make her the focal point because she is a villain. That is bad. That is bad writing. That is bad creative.
She doesn't even play Harley Quinn. She plays her idea of Harley Quinn. She doesn't play the Harley Quinn.
That's true. She's not crazy enough to be Harley Quinn.
Look, you can't be Harley Quinn without the Joker. He's the main reason she becomes Harley Quinn.
Yeah, true.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
No, I love Harley Quinn though, low key, but like I agree that
just hate
I agree the Suicide one maybe isn't the best. Now she's really really good looking. You know, she can
Of course
play
she's
the
good looking.
sex.
Look,
She plays the sex appeal of Harley Quinn, but
that's my problem with it. I don't actually hate Harley Quinn. I mean, I hate the idea of her being the focal point for the DCEU because to me it just
Yeah.
seems random and in
that's
nonsensical.
pretty random. That makes no sense.
But I do not like Margot Robbie's portrayal of that character at all. Nothing against Margot
Well,
Robbie.
she isn't terrible because I mean, to try to to compare her to the cartoon is kind of uh
Yeah, it's a bit
Cartoon is
unfair.
great.
I'll admit
so I
that.
mean her like her first portrayal isn't bad, but just to make her just like okay, well, we're gonna have her the center is a terrible idea.
You
You
talking
know
about the
who?
animated? You talking about the animated Batman Harley Quinn,
No,
right?
well, for the cartoon one, he was talking about the animated Batman, I believe.
Yeah.
You said she's not bad. She's amazing.
Oh,
in the
Oh, no,
cartoon.
no.
he
I
means
was
Suicide Squad, the movie.
saying, well, I was like saying like we can't compare Margot Robbie to anybody else except the cartoon.
That's true.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah. So like I
But
was saying like her portrayal isn't terrible. She puts out good, good enough like
yeah,
material like to where like okay,
right.
she's a good she's good at Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
But
honestly, she was the most entertaining in Suicide Squad.
yeah.
Probably because the rest of the casting was just terrible.
Okay, now
Much as I love Will Smith.
I don't
I
know
agree.
what they were trying to do with the whole Birds of Prey and trying to shoehorn her in.
Yeah. she's a villainous DC. She's not a hero.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, actually, it depends because when she's around the Joker, she's definitely a villain. But without the Joker, she's kind of more of a anti-hero.
Yeah, you're right about that. But I'd
Yeah.
rather see her work. I guess I just would want to see a nutso Harley Quinn going around and just whacking people with a giant hammer and not trying to be a good guy at all. Just make her a nutcase. Like literally a terrifying nutcase. But I want to say if you wanted a female character to be your, which again, I'm not saying that to be sexist. Why the hell wouldn't you have gone with freaking Wonder Woman as your
I
focal?
don't know.
Yeah, I agree. But
I
she
mean,
also was the best. She also was the best character in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't agree with that, but I do
Wait, who was
respect
the
your
best
opinion.
character in Batman vs Superman?
I mean, they were all pretty bad, but I've always defended Henry Cavill as Superman. I always have, and I always will to the day I die.
I like him, but he was not that good in Batman vs Superman to me.
Well,
He got
yeah, because
he-
that movie was trash.
he got overshadowed by
Honestly-
Batman in his own movie.
Well,
even though that
honestly,
wasn't
though,
really
I think
Batman.
he has the build. I think he has the build to be Superman. He is a bit too serious a lot of times. I feel like.
But there's been serious versions of Batman or Superman.
I mean, you're not
2003
supposed
Justice League.
to be like that. Them versions are probably just because there's versions where like freaking Batman is like just a violent murderer, but he's not usually supposed to be like that.
Yeah, I see your point. I mean,
Superman's
But
movie,
it
like,
was kind of but it was kind of bad that the only best part of the Justice League was Superman just soloing his own team.
I mean, it makes sense because he's just that strong. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't watch the Justice League, and I'm gonna tell you why. You freaking killed Superman in Batman v Superman. You freaking dumbasses.
Well, I mean, comic characters always come back alive, though. To be fair.
I understand that, but you killed off one of the founding members of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Founding.
But the problem was if Wonder Woman had said, "Hey, I have invisibility. Let me turn you invisible."
Yeah, right? Right? And to be honest with you, Doomsday really should have been the villain in Justice League, not freaking Steppenwolf.
I don't even know
Come
who
on.
that is.
You see, that's precisely my point.
It's really bad because I seen the movie. I don't even remember how he looks like.
You go with a villain who's basically nothing more than just a general. That would be like what was the name of Thanos' group in Infinity War?
The Black Order.
Yeah, that'd be like if the squid-looking dude from the Black Order was the main villain in Infinity War and not Thanos.
Now, to be fair, the squid-looking dude was fire though. He was dope.
Oh yeah, he was. But okay, a better example. The big dude, the muscular one, it would be like if you took him and made him the main villain in Infinity War. Nobody
Yeah,
would have liked that.
That'd
So
be
why
bad.
the hell did you go with Steppenwolf?
Hey,
Steppenwolf. That name not even cool. That's such a that name reminds me of Taserface from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Taserface.
I mean, the reason why I'm so angry is because when I was growing up, I loved Superman and Batman. Now, I didn't read the comics, but I loved the animated series of both of them. I loved the early 2000s Justice League animated series. I loved Justice League Unlimited. I became a fan of pretty much all of those characters. So I was super excited about the idea that a live action Justice League movie might eventually happen. And oh God, did I regret feeling that way, because you have so many villains you could have gone with. You could have had Brainiac as the main villain in Justice League. You could have, as much as I may have hated Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, you could have brought him back and done the Legion of Doom as the villains in Justice League. You could have done anything, but freaking Steppenwolf? Come on, man.
Steppenwolf isn't like a legitimate threat. It's just not for the entire Justice League.
Exactly, because Superman freaking kicks Steppenwolf's ass with ease pretty much all the time.
I mean, I hope the Snyder cut fixes it, but I mean.
But then again, I also didn't care for most of the casting, and again, that's just my personal. I'm
the Flash randomly showed up in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
Who?
The Flash.
God, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad I think I might have been a little bit drunk when I watched. No. When I was watching that movie, I said to the person I went with, my friend, this movie, if it was supposed to be an unintentional, so bad it's hilarious kind of movie, then this is incredibly enjoyable. Because it was so bad that it made me laugh. That said, however,
dream sequence too.
Yeah. That said,
how do you show up in a dream sequence?
Yeah, right. That said, I also said to my friend, this would be a lot more enjoyable if I was drunk.
The future Batman was pretty funny too.
I honestly, there's so much about that movie that I think I just wiped from my brain.
Shooting everybody.
Yeah, bro. Like, one of the most unintentionally hilarious scenes of all time is the Save Martha scene.
That movie's probably the Room equivalent of DC movies, at least in modern times.
That was the worst Lex Luthor I've ever seen. Also,
oh my God,
red cape circling. The red cape circling.
You know what he felt like? if you had told me that was the Joker, I would have believed you.
Nah.
Because or the Riddler. If you had told me that was the Riddler, I would have believed you.
Yeah.
But Lex, I mean, and that really odd sounding theme he kind of had.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like is
It
this?
was too cool for him, to be honest.
I mean, honestly, like I don't have any problems with insane weirdos being somewhat comical, but why would you ever decide to write Lex Luthor that way? Luthor,
He's not
sorry.
cool, bro. Okay, so saying weirdos can be cool because the Joker is like really cool always. He's always cool.
Right, exactly. I mean, the thing about the Joker is he can be hilarious, but he can be downright terrifying at times.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I said, if you had told me he was playing the Joker, I would have believed you because that kind of felt like the Joker to me in terms of personality.
A little bit. I mean, he doesn't do it good enough, but yeah.
You know what we should do?
You know
Somebody
what
should
else
do
is
him.
terrible?
What's up?
Do you know what else is terrible? Cause I'm gonna jump over to the Marvel side. The last X-Men movie.
Oh, dang.
I
I kind of hit
mean,
that. Cat, what you said we should do though? Then I say we
I was gonna say we should make a meme for the Martha thing, but instead we replace Martha with BVS and have somebody said, "Why did you say that movie? Why did you say that movie title?"
that would be pretty funny.
um,
But yeah,
yeah,
jumping back.
I didn't actually see that X-Men movie you're referring to, the second attempt at doing the Phoenix storyline. The only thing, from what I understand, that they actually got right was that the Phoenix actually felt like the Phoenix this time. Apparently, the rest of the movie was trash, though.
Yeah, like it was not good.
How do you
Like
screw up twice? And if I'm
like
not
half of their
mistaken,
cast was
you know,
like gone, and then one of my favorite X-Men they didn't even use
ew.
and Jubilee.
Yeah, Jubilee. But you know what? You know what's interesting? Did you know they actually used the same writer or writers from X-Men: The Last Stand for the second Phoenix movie?
Oh wow.
Why would you use the same people that failed you once? Um, but yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have seen Jubilee. I would have loved to have seen Gambit.
Oh yeah.
And yes, I know someone would want to say, well, what about the Channing Tatum movie? No, I think he's a terrible choice for Gambit and should not play that role. But that's just me. But how it frustrates me because, to be honest with you, if they just the heck was that noise? If they just read the comics they were adapting and added their own ideas to those comics and had some sense, they could make really great adaptations. It should not be tough to make a worthy adaptation of those comics. It really shouldn't. The fact that it is for professionals baffles me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh well,
I
I'm
mean,
kind of for the the upcoming stuff
yeah.
because I mean like well Blade and the and Shang-Chi seems like promising, but
I forgot about Shang-Chi, actually.
I care less for the Eternals and
I am not watching the Eternals. I'm not going to get into it because it's a bit of a sensitive topic, but I am not watching the Eternals. I am going to watch Shang-Chi, though, because, I mean, I think it's kind of messed up that the Mandarin, the actual Mandarin, is not going to be fighting his arch nemesis. But I want to see the Mandarin so bad that I'm willing to give that movie a shot just to see how the real Mandarin is going to be handled. But I still think it's kind of nonsense that Iron Man never actually got to face the Mandarin.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like Batman not taking on the Joker. I mean, maybe not really comparable to that, but you shouldn't give the main adversary of a hero into somebody else.
Yeah.
It'd be like Doctor Doom taking on Black Panther instead of the Fantastic Four. Now, of course, he has taken on Black Panther in the comics, but you wouldn't start him off in that way.
Yeah.
But
How do you feel about Jane Foster picking up the hammer now?
I'm skipping it, and it's not because she's female. I mean, honestly, with Jane Foster, it's not even anything against the character. I'm just so freaking tired of the whole, we're going to give somebody else's mantle to somebody else just because, instead of maybe giving them their own powers that they inherited through some other means and allow them to be their own person. But no, Thor loves you, Jane. Here's his hammer. Take his powers.
Yeah, and also it makes it bad too, because then the actor for Jane also say she doesn't like Thor.
Yeah, but yeah, she was perfectly fine with accepting more money for another role. Like, and I don't have anything against God, I can't remember the actor's name. But to me, I'm not trying to say anything disrespectful about her. I cannot see her in an action role, swinging around a hammer, beating people up. I'm not trying to say anything disrespectful against Natalie Portman. That's her name. About Natalie Portman, but to me, she doesn't have that like warrior princess vibe that I feel a female, Thor should have. Even though
you know what? I want to go off of that real quick.
What's up?
And that's something that I've been feeling like I hate to see so much with a lot of times with characters. Like, if the female is supposed to be physically strong, and I just feel like she should look like a warrior, like
that's how I felt about
there's plenty of female out there who have muscle, or who can, or you know what? Because you're an actor, you should be able to do anything for your role. It should be plenty of these females should be willing to like hit the gym up to be like these warrior characters, not be these like. No offense, because myself, I'm skinny.
Cliche characters, you mean?
I don't really say mean cliche, but no offense, I'm skinny, so I'm not getting on any skinny person really. But if you're looking like, I don't know, some type of like break a nail and I'll cry, build or something, you shouldn't be this crazy warrior beating up these super tall and super buff man with like ease, like it's no sexism, none of that. It just doesn't make any sense. Like Wonder Woman, I would love if Wonder Woman looked more like a warrior. Like she's beautiful. She's a beautiful lady, but she doesn't look like a warrior.
True. I mean, I will give some credit to Gal Gadot. She did hit the gym. She at least tried. Granted, she wasn't as bulky as Wonder Woman usually is, but she at least tried. Honestly, though, like
the problem too that I could actually forgive Thor, the Wonder Woman. I mean, not Thor, but the female Thor not being really a bit more muscular. They don't have to be even bulky, like you said. They don't have to be bulky. They just should look more like a warrior, like have a bit more build to them. Like that's why I like I forgot her name. The warrior princess. She kind of
Xena.
Xena. Yeah, Xena.
She looks like a warrior.
She was freaking hot too. I mean, my God.
Yeah, that's also dang too. Like, yeah, but
I had a crush on that woman back in the day.
Well, dang. But anyways, what I was saying was I could forgive her a little bit because her powers specifically come from powers, right?
Yeah.
So if your powers are magical in a way and you have super strength, the character doesn't really have to look, really too super buff. But Wonder Woman is supposed to be a warrior who has trained for years, so it makes no sense for her not to look like a warrior.
Can I just say
sorry for that long?
I know Lona probably wants to go, but if I may, I'd like to say a few things.
No, we can we'll go for a few more, cause I got probably like one more topic.
Okay, and it's going to be related to the female Thor thing.
Yeah.
Why in the world does she have to get the name of Thor? I understand the movie says if he be worthy, shall gain the powers of Thor. Okay, I get that. Look, in Norse mythology, which Marvel's Thor is very clearly based upon, he's a god. He doesn't give his powers to a woman and have her call herself Thor. Now, I also feel like it's a little bit disrespectful to a female character to say, you have to take a man's name as well as his powers. No, why couldn't she be her own hero with her own name and not call herself Thor? Because honestly, that to me seems a little bit unintentionally misogynistic. Oh, you're a woman, you don't have powers. Well, take Thor's and his names and his name. You
not
know?
even misogynistic. It's just kind of lame. Like imagine you name yourself directly after someone else.
Yeah.
It's kind of lame.
Imagine if Lois got Superman's powers and called herself Superman. Like,
Hella lame.
I mean, and it just sounds lazy. Where's the creativity there? You know, I don't want to sound like a jerk here, but to be honest with you, I really don't care that the hammer bestows upon you the title. I don't give a damn. Thor was born with the name Thor. He was born with that. So what is he just going to be called Blondie now while she has his name?
Yeah.
I mean, and the other thing I want to say is, all right, wasn't Tessa Thompson's character the new ruler of Asgard? So
yeah, Valkyrie.
Shouldn't Valkyrie have then gotten the hammer instead?
Logically, I mean, yeah.
I mean, oh, you're the new ruler of Asgard, but I'm not giving you a powerful weapon with which to protect it with. Come on. And the last thing I want to touch upon is Thor is very clearly not dead. He's very clearly alive, and he's very clearly got a hammer still, and is still very clearly a powerful individual. He's also with the Guardians, and I would assume will be starring in Guardians 3, which would make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
why then would you decide to do, and might I just say, Love and Thunder, Thor Love and Thunder? That's a terrible title to me. Come on.
Thor Love and Thunder? That sounds like a romance novel.
It really does. It sounds like a romance novel. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like if Twilight was trying to do a Thor novel.
Oh God, that's my heart literally hurt it.
And it's just it's like honestly, this all goes back into what I said regarding Endgame, and which you and I think are pretty much on the same page with Z. Endgame was the end for me. And so far, I've not really seen much of a reason for me to personally become invested in the MCU again. I mean, it's going to take a lot for me to really want to continue, following along with it.
Yeah.
I mean, now, that being said, that doesn't mean Marvel as a whole, because I'm still very interested in seeing more heroes get their own video games.
Oh, I'm sorry. We never did go through all of the shows, really, did we?
Yeah, because that was all the shows for the Disney Plus, but like the I already touched on the upcoming like Blade and all of that.
Okay.
And so like basically my last topic was basically what are you most excited to look like forward to, or what would you like to see different, like from either side?
Hmm. Maybe we should start off with DC because they're the ones who really gotta fix stuff.
Yeah, because for me, I would want DC to actually have a solid, concrete direction, because like it seems like they're just all over the place, just trying to grasp at straws, and like I want, well, them to actually just 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 clear out the room, actually look for good, decent writers, and actually have a direction and a plan, and say, hey,
You know
if we
what?
want to be different than Marvel, just put out solo films and just have it within their own universe instead of trying to connect everything.
Right. But what I was gonna say is the only possible way they can fix it if they want to keep the same actors. Okay, so here's the thing. The way to perfectly fix it would be to be like, I'm sorry guys, but we gotta start from scratch. But since they already spent so much time and money with these new actors and stuff, what they can do is this. They can have it
Flashpoint,
as to where, huh?
Flashpoint.
I kind of was gonna say a little bit. I was gonna say kind of
Yeah.
like to where I don't know something happens with kind of maybe like time travel, maybe, and maybe the universe kind of restarts a little bit. Um, and then then they have their own separate movies or something like that.
And because I was gonna say that they had that planned Flash movie that keeps on getting delayed, and then that was supposed to be Flashpoint.
Flashpoint is Marvel.
No, the Flashpoint is the DC Flash movie.
Wait, DC. Oh yeah, my bad, my bad. Flash is DC. I'm tripping. But what you
So,
meant by
like,
Flashpoint exactly? What is Flashpoint exactly?
the Flash goes back in time to like fix everything.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was
Bas-
kind of saying a little bit. Like
yeah,
that story's kind of restart. Like maybe something happens where it's kind of like I don't know. Maybe the universe is gonna get destroyed. I don't know because it may sound BS what I'm saying, but it could actually be good if that's the only way I can see him fixing it. And it could be like somewhere up some two where it's like oh the universe got mashed together or something, and I don't know. That's how come everything seems to be out of the loop. And someone brings up, don't you think it's weird, Wonder Woman? How come you didn't remember your powers in the present or something like that? I know, yeah, I know it sounds like a joke, but I'm kind of actually a little
yeah,
serious. I'm actually serious
yeah,
because they can actually do that. Just make it to where it's like, oh,
yeah. I
oh,
understand.
yeah, yeah. I'm done, kind of. I'm kind of done.
So, what do you want to see from the Marvel side, and then I'll go to category.
Um, Marvel. I don't know. Here's the thing. Because like I said, I kind of was done with Endgame. Pretty much was done there. So I don't know what I really want to see. For me, honestly, to me, it just should kind of end a little bit. Like the whole movie series and all that. It should kind of just. They should have just maybe just wrapped it up with Endgame. Yeah, that's really all I could really say. I don't really know what I would really want to see specifically. Maybe I don't know. But since they are continuing it, maybe have Venom be better this time. Bring in Carnage. I don't know if they can do that because Carnage is kind of an R-rated character.
Oh,
Um,
Carnage is coming in the next one, so
well, I don't know if they're gonna be able to portray his brutality to the biggest point. But we'll
yeah.
see. We'll see because it could. We'll see because it could be something where Carnage, like, he makes the movie a lot darker, which would be pretty interesting. But we'll see. We'll see, because I hope Carnage isn't like comedic, because he's not a comedic character in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like, he's a monster. Like, he's literally, even without the Carnage symbiote, like, the guy was literally like a rapist, a murderer, like, had like 120 years in prison or something. Like he's an extraordinarily evil character, and then what makes him so great. And he doesn't have any level of comedy. He's just like he's wicked,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I really don't know what to say on that. On Marvel.
Okay. Got a Curry? Got a Curry. And he's gone. And he's gone. Well, let me see if he comes back before I end it. But well, yeah. The one that okay, there he is.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I was talking, but nobody could hear me.
Okay.
So the question was the same question you'd asked Z-Boy?
Yeah.
All right, and it's for both DC and Marvel, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, like what would you like to see from either side?
All right, I'm gonna start with Marvel because I have more ideas. First thing I would love to see from Marvel would be a Silver Surfer movie, which could potentially lead off of a Fantastic Four film and then eventually lead into Galactus. That is something
Well, that
I would
is the
love.
plan, though.
Right. And I know it's the plan, but that doesn't necessarily mean that Silver Surfer would get a movie. I think he deserves one because I'm fascinated with the character and I feel like there's so much you could do with him. Another thing I'd like to see is Marvel bring back Dormammu and not just, do and not just leave it at what they did in Doctor Strange 1, because to me that was very disrespectful to Dormammu, who is Doctor Strange's main adversary. So he better be the main villain in a third Doctor Strange film. What else would I want to see? I'd love to see, in terms of potential, in terms of potential Marvel series, I would love to see a Ghost Rider series. I know they were supposed to do one, but apparently it got canceled, which I think is ridiculous. I'd love to see.
Well, to touch on that a little bit, I hear they're gonna have rumors for the Midnight Suns,
I don't even know what that is.
and the Midnight Suns is kind of like a like dark underworld team, and that consists of Blade, of the Punisher, Hailstorm, and Ghost Rider.
Are they bringing back the Punisher from the
I believe so, since they are considering it, and so they already brought Charlie Cox back for Daredevil. So I
Right.
believe that because the Marvel Kevin Feige, the executor, said that he doesn't want us to see anybody else as the Punisher except for him. So,
Thank God.
and so I believe, to your question, Katakuri, I believe he's coming back, and the plan is to do the Midnight Suns.
All right. Well, let me just say one thing. Don't just leave it at that. Treat that like a Defenders, and give. Would you say Hellcat?
Hellstorm.
All right, give Hellstorm. Hellstorm's a female superhero, right?
No, he's like a demon type
Okay.
character.
Well, you know what? Give him his own series. Give Ghost Rider his own series. And since Punisher and Blade already
Wait,
had and are
actually,
having their own series,
I'm sorry, but I got a better idea. Since he's a demon, why don't he be in the same series with Ghost Rider?
exactly. I don't. If you're gonna give these characters the proper development they need, don't just give Blade his own series and say screw everybody else. Punisher already had 2 seasons, so he's good. I mean, I would have loved it if he had more, but he's good. He had a series. Do that for Ghost Rider. Do that for Hellstorm, or
I don't
include
think
him.
Ghost Rider needs his own series. If he's a demon,
Right.
why don't he have a series with Ghost Rider?
Well, right. I mean, I was going to say either give him his own series or have him have a starring role in the Ghost Rider series. But I just don't know why you would only give a series to Blade and be like, oh no, forget you, Ghost Rider, you're not getting one. And Hellstorm, well, we'll just introduce you in the series. No, if you're gonna do that for Blade, do that for Ghost Rider as well. I'm not a fan of that if that's all they're gonna do. Especially because I've been waiting for either a new Ghost Rider movie or a series for a long time. Is there anything else I can say that I'd want to see from Marvel before jumping over the DC? Not really, not off the top of my head. So I guess I'll go to DC now. I know it's probably never going to happen, but I'd still love to see a new sequel to Man of Steel. I know people had a lot of problems with Man of Steel. Not going to tell them they're wrong. I personally really liked Man of Steel all the way.
I did too, man. It's just
it is my personal favorite. Yeah, it is my personal favorite DCEU movie. It is pretty much the only one I have really liked. And it would be a damn shame not to see Cavill at least to be given a chance to do a sequel and maybe hire writers that actually know how to write Superman. Because while I didn't 100% agree with everything people said about Man of Steel, I definitely understood where they were coming from, and they were right. Superman is supposed to be that kind of guy who's pretty much always got a smile on his face. He's always uplifting, and, he's just that kind of a hero. So bring Cavill back, realize that you made a mistake by hiring the wrong writers for Man of Steel 1, even though I still loved it. And give us the Superman that we freaking deserve. Because Cavill deserves it. I think it's actually Cavill. Sorry if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly. He deserves it. The fans definitely deserve it. And you can't just do Superman dirty like that. I'm sorry.
I do kind of understand it, though, to an extent. They were trying to turn Superman into like more of a flawed, relatable character.
And you can do that. Well, I mean, he always is flawed. You don't have to get rid of the sunshine aspect of Superman to make him flawed. You can.
I agree. That's why, like I said, even though I thought he was too serious and stuff, and he was too angsty, I don't hate the movie specifically. Like, I think the fight scenes are pretty cool. I think the villain was pretty good.
Zod was excellent. Was excellent.
Yeah, he was great, and I also understood what they was going for. But he's not really Superman for me. So,
and I understand, and I definitely get that. But for me, Henry Cavill had the potential to be the best live-action Superman ever put on the screen. I'm going to take that to the grave with me. I'm never going to change my perspective on that potential that he had.
I can agree too, because he actually looks like
Yeah,
super. You know, he's built super.
yeah. He looks like Superman, and he kind of sounds like Superman.
I don't know if he sounds like him, but
No disrespect to Christopher Lee, of course, but I'm sorry, I think I said his name wrong. Not Christopher Lee. What the hell was his name? What? How could I forget this man's name? The guy who originally played Superman in the older movies. What the heck was it? God, I can't believe I forgot his name. Maybe it'll come back to me. But as I was saying, Man of Steel 2, make Brainiac the villain in it, or maybe Metallo. For other things that I'd want to see, I still am, interested in the Pattinson. I don't know. I don't remember if it's Pattinson or Patterson. I'm pretty sure it's Pattinson though. I am looking forward. What is it?
Paddington.
Paddington. No, it's not Paddington. Come on, man. But yeah, Pat. God, you almost had me saying
Yeah,
Pattinson.
patty cake.
Patty cake.
Patty cake,
I am still very interested in seeing how that movie does. I will be watching it in some capacity when it's out. Outside of that, I'd really like to see a new Green Lantern movie, and
Yes.
I'd really like to see the one starring in it not be Hal Jordan, but be Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Because I prefer him personally. I never actually really got into Green Lantern, and my first real exposure to Green Lantern was through Jon Stewart in the 2003 Justice League series.
Hopefully, the Snyder cut will give you that.
Yeah, because that's the only Green Lantern I want to see. Well, maybe I won't go so far. Yeah, he's the only one I want to see because I'm the most familiar with him, and
What about Aquaman 2?
I have no interest in Aquaman 2 because I never liked Momoa in that role. He doesn't look the part, and I'm not saying that I believe that a character should look the way they were originally intended. Not 100%, but if it's a character that's blonde, they should be blonde. If they have blue eyes, they should have blue eyes.
For me, because I think I forgot what exact role it was, but it was like a role where it's like he doesn't really look like how he does in comics, but people don't really care because of the fact that he like plays it. I think it's Wolverine. Like Wolverine in the comics is like stocky and I think a lot shorter than Hugh Jackman.
Well, yeah, and I do understand that, but no one's ever going to get me to believe that Jason Momoa was the best for the role. You're not going to.
He wasn't. What I'm saying is, for me, I do agree with you on the looks thing, but if someone plays a role so well, he doesn't. But if he were to actually act like Aquaman truly,
yeah, I'd feel differently.
Like,
I would change my tune. I would change my tune. It's not because he's Samoan. My problem is if you wanted a Samoan Aquaman, awesome. Can he be his own character with his own story? And personally, I maybe probably shouldn't say this as a white man, but for me, I don't want to see. I want to see diversity in the sense of characters being allowed to be their own heroes, have their own names, and not have to, use the names of other heroes. I would want to see, there's been I forget what his name was, but if either of you two have ever seen Young Justice before, have either of you two seen
Aqualad?
What's up?
You talking about Aqualad?
Yes. Why didn't you make him Aquaman in a movie and use him as your Aquaman? You know, he's not.
And I prefer a full-fledged Teen Titans live action movie.
Oh well, everybody. I think a lot of people would. It's so I want to make my points clear here, so I don't come across as being racist. I mean, I know both of you know I'm not, but the viewers may not. So I want to make sure that I carefully word what I say so as not to accidentally say something stupid. Why did Jason Momoa need to play Arthur, Aquaman? Why couldn't he have?
Ain't Arthur in the movie?
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Why did he need to be Arthur?
Arthur at all?
Well, that's pretty much part of my point. Why did he need to be Arthur? Why couldn't he have been a new Aquaman that you could create a new, more unique, interesting backstory for? You don't have to. Pretty much what I'm saying is, if you want to do something different, I'm all for it. But I'd rather you went all the way and didn't just say, "Oh, well, we want him to be a new character, but we're going to use the name of the original Aquaman, even though this character doesn't feel anything like Arthur."
No half measures.
No half measures. I want you to be creative. I want you to.
You know what the half measure reference to?
I really don't.
Breaking Bad, remember?
Dude, I haven't seen that. I really need to go back and rewatch that. But all I'm trying to say is, I know it's going to sound weird coming from a white man, but to me, you're not really respecting diversity by saying, well, we want a more diverse actor to play the role, but we're not going to necessarily. We're basically just going to change the skin color of an already existing character instead of maybe. How do I say this? All right.
You're so scared to say what you need to say, you can't say it.
I think that's part of it because I mean, if it was just the three of us conversing about this, I wouldn't be concerned. But I know that people can take what you say and use it against you.
I mean, people take anything what you say use it against you anyways. People probably going to be offended by what I said about if a female is supposed to be a fighter, she should be built like a fighter.
Yeah.
But that's true though. I mean, you can't be a fighter and not have some degree of physicality. We're not saying you need to be a female bodybuilder. You do need to have dexterity and strength to some degree.
Exactly.
My thing on Jason Momoa, and what I've been trying to say for a while now here, but for some reason haven't been able to, is I feel that if you didn't want to do, all right, I'm going to word it like this. Why do you want to do a different character, but then also try to appease the fans of the of the original character by giving them the same name? Imagine if there was a new Tony Stark and he was of a different ethnicity. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, mind you. But imagine if that still existed in the MCU. Why would you want a new Tony Stark, but then want to change everything about him but his name? Wouldn't you rather make a brand new character, be creative with that character, let that character stand on their own, let them come into their own and not have to live under the shadow of an already existing character? Because I find that to be pretty disrespectful, honestly. And I don't mean to me. I would feel the same way if this would never happen, of course. I'd feel the same way if we got another T'Challa and he was a white man.
That would be horrible. That'd be the worst thing ever.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that's never going to happen.
No, the T'Challa would be even worse because his whole thing is about being Prince.
Right.
To be fair to the fan. Oh, what you going to say, Lauren?
Or would you have Jim Carrey as the Hulk?
If he was still young I could see that, but I'm not going to say he'd ever be my main. No, I would never say he'd be my number one choice.
That's like
I
you
still
wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I still prefer Edward Norton to
That's the
me.
funniest thing.
Edward Norton to me is still the best Bruce Banner. Nothing against Mark Ruffalo, but you look nothing like Bruce Banner. I'm
They
sorry.
changed him though. No, you know
Oh
what's
no,
bad?
trust me. I do not like Avengers Hulk. I love Edward Norton's Hulk all day.
You know what's bad
Agreed.
about that? It's really bad about that is because of the fact that he's supposed to be the same person. And the original Hulk that was in the original like Hulk movies, he apparently left the role for some reason. So that's how come even though he's supposed to be the exact same character from the Hulk movies, he's like a completely different looking person and all that. Because he's literally supposed to be the same person. They're literally supposed to be the same person. Like his movies happen and then like I think in the last movie, Nick Fury or Iron Man show up or something.
Yeah.
So I know the reason as to why he left the role because he wanted to be in control of some things, and I understand why they'd let Edward Norton go.
They could at least pick a similar looking guy.
Yes, exactly. Couldn't you have at least chosen another actor that had a similar body type and had a similar hair color? He's supposed to be the same person in the same freaking film universe.
Exactly.
I mean, you know,
like, it would make it a little bit better if they didn't show him as Bruce so much.
Yeah, just make him the Hulk permanently.
That would be kind of funny, be like Hulk broke the bathroom again.
But I feel like I did deviate, and I probably got a lot of angry people at me for the whole Aquaman thing. It goes well beyond Jason Momoa. I don't actually think he's a bad actor. I just
you know what what they was trying to do because there's a history of being seen as lame, so that's why they was really trying to make him this really manly, character.
Well, to those who say that, I would urge you to go and look up Aquaman from the 2003.
Look up his abilities because people really think all he could do is talk to fish.
Well, I mean, based on the movie, apparently he's just a Thor ripoff without a hammer. And that was another reason why I didn't care for that. Way to steal, DC. You can't just come up with your own ideas. That's just the way I see it. I felt like Aquaman was just basically a Thor ripoff in that movie.
I think Aquaman is a god, though.
Well, okay, so you asked about his powers. In some interpretations, I think he has the power to control water itself, kind of like on a second Hokage kind of thing, but on steroids. Most versions of him is mostly just being able to speak to sea life and command sea life and having superhuman strength and whatnot and being able to swim and breathe underwater. But there are versions where he has the power to control water itself, which, I mean, how could you not make that one of his abilities in the movies?
I mean, just in general, though. I mean, being able to control sea animals is pretty OP.
Right.
Could be. I mean, you probably have to be around water, but there's a lot of sea animals in the ocean and things. But.
Right. I would have maybe added hydrokinesis to that to some extent, but no,
he's super powerful on land. He's just more powerful. He's a fishman.
Yes, essentially. So what else?
Finish up your point because we're coming up on 3 hours.
Okay. I'm just gonna say a few more things.
Sorry about that. Cutting you off and all that. My bad.
I'm just gonna say two more things that I'd maybe want to see from DC, and then I'll be done. All right. I would like to see a Flash movie, as long as it's not Ezra Miller in the role. That's all I'm gonna say. And I would really like to see, even though I know it's impossible at this point, I'd really like to see the Dark Justice League movie that was originally going to be helmed by Guillermo del Toro
Oh yeah.
come into existence. I know it's never going to happen, but DC, you were morons to not allow that man to do that, because he would have made you so much money and would have made such a great freaking film.
Yeah, that's the one with Constantine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say this one last thing about it. Del Toro is an award-winning filmmaker. The man knows what he's doing. Why wouldn't you just let him do what he wants when you know he can deliver the goods?
Right.
God. Anyway, that's all.
Well, on that note, I think we had a good topic here. A good discussion,
Mm.
and I'm gonna
I'm
try
sorry
to.
about cutting off too. I just be like, when I hear something, I'd be thinking of something to add to it. But
It
Oh
happens.
no! Oh no! Well, you're good. I just I'm gonna try to be more consistent for with these things, and then uh I will keep you guys in the loop, and then I'm gonna stop procrastinating so much.
It happens, man. Don't feel so bad. We'll. I mean, you two are definitely a lot more busy than I am. So
So yeah, well, until the next time, everybody, have no fear. The loner's here.
peace like a strike. Oh.
Peace.
yes, definitely subscribe to both of these
Dude.
fine gentlemen here.
Oh
Loner,
yeah, well, my bad. Let's
Loner.
subscribe to Z Boy and Black Angel Katakuri.
Even though I have no videos, but hopefully that will one day change.
Or talk to him in each one of our discords.
I'm the one that likes to talk a lot.
Right.